Hey there! Welcome to another session of Marvelous Videos. In today's video, we will explore and learn about the origins of Cogliostro. Regular followers of the Spawn comic book already know about Cogliostro, but if you're new, then I assure you it won't be short of a wild ride. Many a time, a supporting character works their way up the ladder and makes great strides in the storyline. This is where we can easily place Cogliostro. He's not just any other villain in a comic series, he is the Supervillain. So sit tight and enjoy as we look deeper into one of our favorite antagonists. From knowing about his origins to shedding a light on Cogliostro's role in the Spawn lore, including his iconic looks, we will get you a complete rundown of the character. But before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Meet Cogliostro and find out his backstory. Cogliostro, also called Cog, was born as Cain. Co-created by Neil Gaiman and Todd McFarlane, he's a fictional character out of the Spawn comic book universe. He was the world's first murderer. He didn't murder any random person. Cogliostro murdered his brother Forsaken, aka Abel. Later, he labeled this act as a mistake. However, he was punished for this act. He was made a Hell Spawn. In fact, he was the first Hell Spawn. Cogliostro made a deal with Malboja and accepted the offer to serve in his army. Later, he betrayed Malboja when he realized that he would be sent back to Hell. Cogliostro never had any intention of serving in Hell. He wanted to be the one ruling Hell. He made use of his power of black magic to set himself free, abandoning his Hellspawn capabilities. This helped him extend his life by centuries. For a long time, centuries to be exact, Cogliostro would become a mentor to the new group of Hellspawn, specifically Al Simmons, aka Spawn. He imparted the history of the Hellspawns and about the war between heaven and hell. He also taught Spawn about the usage of his abilities. Cogliostro initially appears as a homeless man, but is more aware of Spawn's condition than Spawn himself. Cog, as he is known, tells Spawn about his energy source being limited. He also warns Spawn that using all the powers will send him to hell eternally. Despite guiding Spawn, Cog's character becomes ambiguous. This results in a betrayal as he reveals his real identity as Cain, none other than the first murderer. His true intention was to become the ruler of Hell. Finally, Cog reveals that he too was a Hellspawn who had left Malboja. He also says that he does not wish to use his power. Cog still has one tick of necroplasmic power left. However, he refuses to use that power since any use of his powers from Hell will be the end of his earthly existence. Yet the single drop of power has helped extend his lifespan to centuries. But Cogliostro does not wish the newest Spawn to become a victim of the darkness that had both of them spawn. He portrays himself as a guiding star as opposed to the Violator who misguides Spawn. What role does Cogliostro play in the Spawn lore? After a detailed introduction of Cogliostro, it's time to drive the narrative forward. Amidst all the introductory talks, you'd be wondering what is the role that Cog plays in the Spawn lore. So without any further delay, let's jump right in. It is true that Cogliostro plays a pivotal role in the Spawn lore. Cog trains and guides Spawn about his powers and warns Spawn about the actual use of the limited powers. When Cog assists Spawn in seizing the power of Hell, it proves to be a betrayal. Once Spawn gains the throne, Cog usurps the throne from him. After the defeat of Malboja, Cog was dying. Spawn saved his life by bringing him the Box of Eden. By deceiving, Cog revealed his original motive and stripped Al before usurping the throne for himself. His motivations bring forth a mix of wisdom, deception, and a continuous desire for power, proving him to be a one-of-a-kind antagonist in the realm of Spawn mythos. Still later, Cogliostro becomes a supervillain known as Sin. He, together with Violator and Godsend, is against the evolving threat of Al Simmons and his powers. He also killed Nyx, a trustworthy friend and supporter of Spawn. He would eventually absorb the souls of all Hellspawns and become powerful. He would then fight Spawn for the Dead Zones. After that, he would also fight against the Violator and Forsaken, i.e. his brother Abel. After winning over Forsaken, Sin left for Hell to once again take his throne. This time, he realized that time moves differently in the realms of Earth and Hell. Sin found out that Cataclysm had taken his place and proclaimed himself as the ruler of Hell. Sin succeeded in killing Cataclysm, but Nyx took over the throne and incinerated and killed Sin with a blast of necroplasm. In the 1997 Spawn movie, Cogliostro, played by Nicole Williamson, is brought to life as a simple and mysterious Hellspawn who has succeeded in breaking free from Malebolgia's reign. He's seen on screen as a 15th century Saxon assassin who has deserted most of his hellish abilities to limit his association in Hell. The protagonist wears medieval leather and retractable arm blades. He acts as Al Simmons' guide, teaching Spawn how to use his necroplasmic powers without the help of any darker force. In contrast to the film, the comics present him as biblical Cain, the first murderer. As mentioned earlier in the narrative, he became the first Hellspawn before giving up all his powers, except a single tick of power. This single tick of power can help extend his lifespan for eternity. He has a hidden agenda to gain absolute control over Hell. In fact, we see him evolving into a guide disguised as a deceptive antagonist, embracing the themes of betrayal and immorality. Thus, the character of Cogliostro in the comics is multifaceted. The betrayal of Cog has a deep impact on the storyline of the Spawn comic book series. So, while the comic book character Cog is deceptive and is shown as an overambitious figure, the film shows his character as more of a mentor to Spawn. There's a touch of narrative twist in the film adaptation. Well, if you think there's only one cinematic representation of Cogliostro, you'd be surprised to know that's not true. Well, we have more in store to surprise you. Just as in the comics, Cogliostro is present as a supporting character in the animated series. His voice for the TV series is voiced by the late actor Richard Dysart. However, the character was in deep contrast to the one created for the comic series. In this TV series, Cogliostro was a knight during his time of gallantry, after which he became a Hellspawn. This earned him the title of Black Knight. However, when he understood that his slavery to Malebolgia was an act against his honor, he made use of black magic in order to set himself free from the reigns of the demon. He became Merlin, an Arthurian legend. From that time, in order to justify himself, Cogliostro took on the duty of saving one Hellspawn, Al Simmons. So with every new adaptation, we see a fresh approach to Cogliostro. Looks, aims, powers, and a total personality analysis of Cogliostro. Speaking of a character without mentioning the way he looks does not complete the entire picture. So here we are. After exploring the role of Cogliostro in the Spawn lore, let us find out how our Cog looks. Furthermore, we shall also discuss his aims and powers and give an entire personality study. In the comics, Cogliostro is seen as a striking, ageless man who has a mystical appeal to his character. He's over 6 feet in height with a slim and skinny frame. He is seen to wear long, heavy robes that reach the ground. The fabric that he wears is dark in hue. Greens, midnight blues, and charcoal are mostly seen in the comics. The face is partially hidden by the shadow of the hood. Beneath the hood lies his sharp, high cheekbones, a thick brow, and skin marked with the lapse of time. His eyes are portrayed as green or gold that glow dimly. He also has a long beard that's divided into 2 long strands. His mouth has not known a smile since forever. After a quick look into the way Cog looks, we present you with the aims that this character had. His aim was not a single one. He had a twofold goal. First, to amend his sin as Cain, and to protect the new Hellspawn, namely Spawn, or Al Simmons, from the damned life of Hell. For this, he aimed to conquer the realm of Malebolgia's domain, the 8th circle of Hell. With the single tick of necroplasmic power, he captured Hell and reigned over it. He also reshaped the brutal landscape. Yet right after that, he renounced that throne, thus leaving the 8th circle. This was as abrupt as seizing the throne. This was a thoroughly calculated step. Following this, he set his eyes on his ultimate aim. This was to become the ruler of Hell and not serve in it. But ultimately, the aims of Cogliostro remained unfulfilled. Cogliostro, being the first Hellspawn, had some of the most interesting sets of powers that make him unforgettable. Cain, as he was originally known, surrendered all his abilities save a tick of his necroplasmic power. This single bit of power made him immortal. He became a figure who did not age and could not be killed through simple means. His necroplasmic abilities also fuel his superhuman features: strength, speed that hurts the eyes, and superhuman durability that does not let trauma have its effect. He's also blessed with a super sense that helps to detect the tiniest of disturbances. And he's also super flexible, that surpasses human limits. Apart from being brutal in its true sense, Cog also possesses a healing factor. This healing factor helps him recover from any deadly wound that he encounters. That too, almost instantly. Though he refrains from using the necroplasm for fear of returning to hell, his residual power is present beneath his skin, with his veins giving off the green glow as per his choice. His long-term goal includes the use of magical capabilities to construct a tower that will pierce heaven and disrupt the celestial order. Marvelous verdict. With that, we've come to the end of our discussion about Cogliostro. If fear had a name in the world of comics, we're sure you are now convinced it is synonymous with Cogliostro. From the time and the deed that made him a hellspawn to delving into the powers, characteristic look, and aim, all of it makes Cogliostro a villain worth exploring. Also, the way he rose to power and achieved one of his goals for a short tenure makes him a character to remember. We hope you enjoyed this video. We will see you in the next Marvelous video. Bye! And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.